When Peter returned home from work as a vet, he found his beloved dog Max and his cat Sam in an unusual position that seemed almost absurd. Initially, he wondered if they were just playing around, but his concern grew when he noticed that Sam wouldn't release Max. This sight left him feeling pale and worried. Understanding that any change in his pet's behavior required immediate attention, Peter wasted no time in calling the vet. Veterinarians are trained to decipher animal behavior and provide appropriate solutions. As Peter explained the situation to the vet, he was urged to act swiftly. The vet informed Peter that there was no time to waste, recalling a similar situation in the past with grim implications. To properly diagnose the issue, the vet needed Peter to bring Max to the clinic immediately. With the details still unclear, Peter hurriedly made his way to the car, aware that the well-being of either his cat or dog could be at risk. Encountering such a scene would naturally lead to worry for most people. Peter's immediate action of calling the vet was followed by rushing his pets to the clinic to ensure their well-being. The vet's urgency added to Peter's concern, especially as he faced rush hour traffic, which seemed to prolong the agonizing wait. Peter couldn't help but wonder why this was happening now, with the panic escalating as he imagined the worst-case scenarios. The thought of losing either of his beloved pets, whom he cherished equally, was unbearable. Peter felt a loss of control over the situation, something he had never anticipated. As Peter navigated through the traffic, his anxiety grew, exacerbated by the vet's evident concern over the phone. Despite the challenges, he managed to overcome the rush hour traffic and finally arrived at the vet, hoping for a swift resolution to the ordeal. However, upon reaching the clinic, Peter's expectations were not met. Instead of immediately addressing the issue, the vet conducted further checks and assessments, prolonging Peter's anxious wait for answers. Uncertain of the exact problem, Peter was determined to get to the bottom of it. Upon arriving at the vet's clinic with Max, Peter was ushered to a seat by the vet's assistant. Despite his eagerness for answers, none were forthcoming just yet. The assistant assured Peter that the vet would arrive as soon as possible, but Peter's patience was wearing thin. Nearly an hour had passed since their phone call, and Peter was a bundle of nerves, feeling a mix of worry, stress, and exhaustion. He needed answers desperately, and the vet was his only source. Feeling increasingly frustrated and anxious, Peter's emotions reached a boiling point. He demanded to see the doctor, as he couldn't bear to see Max in pain without any resolution in sight. The vet had warned him that this was a potentially dangerous situation, so why wasn't he there already? Despite the assistant's attempts to calm him down, Peter took matters into his own hands. He knew the seriousness of the situation and felt frustrated by the delay in the vet's arrival. With no clear direction from the nurse, all they could do was wait anxiously for the vet to arrive. Unable to wait any longer, Peter took matters into his own hands and stormed into the vet's office, demanding immediate attention for Max. However, the vet was currently occupied with another dog. Seeing the desperation on Peter's face, the dog's owner, a kind-hearted woman, insisted that Peter go ahead of her. This random act of kindness touched Peter deeply, as he was already stressed and worried about Max. The woman understood that Sam needed urgent help, unlike her own dog, whose appointment was just a routine checkup. This gesture helped calm Peter down a bit, knowing that Sam would finally be examined. While he was eager to know what was happening with Max, he also understood the importance of immediate attention for those in more critical need. Despite the urgency, the vet followed the clinic's practice of addressing patients in the order they arrived. While this might seem illogical to some, it was standard procedure at the clinic. As the vet examined Sam more closely, it became evident that there was more to the situation than initially apparent. Despite not explicitly sharing his concerns with Peter, the vet's demeanor shifted noticeably, causing him to turn pale. Sensing the gravity of the situation, the vet began asking Peter questions about Sam to confirm his suspicions.